second.
This is the BAM Podcast with Malcolm Springer.
The BAM Podcast is brought to you by Hook Hats. Hook Hats are individually created and never duplicated. Hook Hats are custom, high-quality hats made in Franklin, Tennessee. Go to hookhats.com. For a discount on Hook Hats, type in the code 10, and that way he'll give you 10% discount from hearing that on our podcast.
What's going on?
Let's make sure he's rolling. Man,
Yeah. But people suck, man.
People suck. People suck.
Like,
We're having a bad human day.
Cheers, man. You know, I just feel like people make their lives like unnecessarily complicated, you know? And that's why I don't really like hanging out with that many people. Because I just feel like, dude, you just got some unresolved shit. And like,
You need to take care of it.
and you can't deal with it. So your way of dealing with it is by fucking up your life and everybody else's life around you. It's like, why don't you go just deal with your shit instead of fucking, I mean, sorry, can we cuss?
Yeah. But hey, we're gonna do some bleep outs, and we're gonna do the unedited version where I'm hollering fuck the whole time. So they can put that on the.
God, man. How long have we been friends now?
Shit.
Since 2009?
Shit. Before then.
No, it was like 2000. No, it was after that. It was like 2011 was when we went to Portageville to record that record.
Was it really?
Yeah. So it's like 11 years I've known
A
you.
long time. Well, how's business going?
Dude, cheers, man. It's good.
I never drank.
It's good.
We're drinking today.
I mean, it was like completely non-existent for 2 years. You know?
Yeah, the old COVID.
And then all of a sudden, if January was slow, and then all of a sudden in February, it was fucking crazy. I couldn't keep up with everything, you know. So it's good. I mean,
So TJ here has a company called National Axe, and they do VIPs.
Yeah.
That's nationalaxe.com, isn't it?
It's nationalaxevip.com.
VIP.com.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they you just go there if you want to do, because you represent a lot of big rock bands.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know how many people I work, but there's probably like about 20 bands right now that I do them for.
Really?
And, it ebbs and flows depending on the time of year, and but yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just weird. I've been doing it for almost 10 years now.
Well, I have to ask something, because I saw it on Instagram earlier. What about Exodus? I saw a Instagram post about that, and how is it working with those guys? I mean,
Dude, they're great.
all
those old rockers are so fucking nice, you know? And they're all do-it-yourselfers. So like, yeah, man, they're really nice, dude. It's weird. It's all like I don't know. I don't want to talk shit about it, but it's all like the it's like the ones that are like the younger,
are hard to deal with.
Yeah, they're the ones more harder to deal with. But these guys, a lot of these older guys, like I work with Testament, Exodus, and Death Angel.
Do you still work with Queensryche?
I don't, I guess officially, sure, but I haven't talked to them in a while. So.
Okay. I was wondering.
I don't think they really want to do it. I think there's a lot of bands that don't want to do the meet and greets because of COVID.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry, we're probably not allowed to say COVID, but
No, that's okay. I mean, it happened. Is something we can say.
Yeah, but they I think a lot of people are, they're still just kind of like, we're gonna wait a little bit. You know,
really?
Just wait till it dies down a little bit.
I know more people get it now than I've ever. I know. I mean, I'm serious too.
I know.
But I mean, this is the way it is, and everybody can think that it's let me straighten this out so I won't be crooked here.
So you feeling better?
I'm doing better. Had a bad morning, but I know we can't talk about that on here. But,
Sure. Yeah.
I think that the medicine they had me on has got me kind of a bit wacky, but I'm going to try to see about getting off of that and get back to normal.
Yeah.
I think it's mind over matter. Do you think?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, man.
I thought that there for a minute.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, God.
I think to a certain extent, but then sometimes, you just got shit wrong with you. You got to deal with it.
Got to fix it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe in things being wrong with people besides their fucking attitude.
Amen to that.
Why? I mean, I know. This is, look, We're going to go over ancient alien theory.
Okay,
today,
let's do it.
Man,
I
just want to talk to you because I never get to ask my friend here like real questions about his business and real things about what's going on with, like how it is to work with some of those people. And, I know you represent some pretty big names. I know you're being pretty modest. But, the VIP world, I think that's fucking badass.
Yeah.
You built that company up from nothing.
From nothing.
Absolutely, just an idea.
Yeah. Because I was in Sacramento, which is where I live. There was this other company at the time called Ground Control, and they were part of like the Artery Foundation, and like that whole group of people.
Right.
And so they were doing like VIPs for like Guns N' Roses and Britney Spears and shit.
Wow.
And I was like, man, like there's nobody doing it for like, kind of the like in the rock world, with like bands that maybe aren't necessarily at that level, but like that are still pretty big bands,
Right.
And then, there's a few other companies that do it and they probably do better than I do, but I do it all like by myself. So I have about as much as I can handle, and I got,
I don't say you handle all of it, to be honest with you, but I mean,
I stay pretty busy, but like you do,
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like, you're kind of like me where, you have definitely a presence on social media for sure, but you don't really like advertise or,
No.
It's just like, I don't know. People just find you, it's like, that's how my business has been.
It's word of mouth,
Yeah. Which is better. I feel like it's better that way because,
Yeah, but, because
then you work with people who are,
you work with the right people.
Yeah.
It seems to me like when people look you up, it seems like those are the wrong people.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. But maybe I'm wrong there. But somebody will come to me and go, "Hey, you cut one of my favorite records,"
Yep.
And it's kind of like I want to meet those Exodus dudes though. I do.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're really nice guys.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know that was Kirk Hammett's first band.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but there was another person that came out of that band too. The guy was was a band Megadeth was in the dude with Megadeth was in there.
Was he?
Dave Mustaine was in there.
Mustaine was in there?
I'm pretty sure. That's a legacy band. It's one of those bands.
Dude.
It was kind of like the Yardbirds, Everybody came in and out of the Yardbirds. I don't know who all was in the Yardbirds, but hey, I saw something on I'll tell you what, this is something to talk about. Not making fun of him at all.
Okay.
I'm not. But Johnny Depp and Jeff Beck was on stage. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I know Johnny Depp's a badass guitar player.
Dude, he's a badass singer too.
Is he really?
Oh, dude, he freaking got down. I was like, wow. I'm like, definitely not making fun of it. I just thought it was interesting that I was going through Facebook and I saw Jeff Beck and him on stage.
No
together.
shit.
Well, I thought it was I thought that was a joke for a second. I didn't know if it was real, but I've watched it and he's singing and Jeff Beck's playing and to be honest with you, I know Jeff Beck was still alive.
Yeah.
He looked
like I heard that name.
It'd be,
who's the band that what's the band that he's in? He's in a band with Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, he's in a band with a bunch of characters.
But there's the one guitar player that's like amazing. I don't think it's Satriani, but it's fuck. But he takes guitar lessons from Johnny Depp.
No way.
I swear to God, it's not Satriani. I forget, but it was the other. Man, I can't remember.
Steve Vai?
No, it's like he's in a band, but he's like a fucking badass guitar player.
Really?
And Johnny Depp is that good on guitar that he's better than that dude.
No way.
Yeah.
I gotta check.
Man, now I want to know the name of that band.
Now I want to do a record on Johnny Depp.
I know, dude. So talented.
Yeah, that's man. I mean, could you imagine doing a record on Johnny Depp? Jesus, I thought the press and all that shit was bad with Josie Scott. People with cameras in your face and shit. Boy, it'd be really bad with Johnny Depp there. I know. Jeez.
I don't know. We're not even talking about that one.
No, me and Josie's in there trying to cut vocals, and I got a camera. Sweetheart of a guys. I mean, they really were great. The camera crew was awesome. It's just he's sitting there singing. And I'm sitting there bitching at him like I do all my singers, because you know how I just start bitching at you about everything. Yep. You're doing this, you're doing that. Wait, I feel like I'm being like, I've got to be cool about it. You got to be calm about it. And you know me, I'm not a very calm person. So
no.
So they got a good picture of me going, I can't say Josie's in the background looking at me like, fucking redneck.
Did you make him go outside and run laps and then come in?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah, yeah. We ran him down the graveyard. He's
No
like,
shit.
He's like, "You're serious?" I went, "Yeah, I'm serious."
Oh, that's awesome.
Joe's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Really? We gotta run, buddy. We gotta run."
I mean,
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Got to get that performance, man.
Man, you know, good common sense and the vocal takes are very hard to come by because you got these people who just think they're gonna go in there and sing it. And it's like, the vocal takes, you know how to, man, you got to really be in a certain mind frame. And
Yeah.
I don't know, you got to feel, I don't know. I've been in that situation doing backgrounds and I feel that pocket when I know I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's that pocket that you're not, you didn't get it. You're like, damn, and just get them there and you could be a freaking quicksand problem pretty quick.
Yeah.
What
do you do when it's a
intended.
bad day, like for a vocalist? You just like, hey, let's just call it a day.
These days, man, I'm gonna tell you what I've learned. My lesson on some things is wait until the last to do vocals.
Yeah.
Because it's the what they sing it to really is what the first guitar riff is in the freaking groove, and then to wait till the end of the thing to do it, I think is a big mistake. But that's me. I mean, I like let's do some vocals now. What do you mean? We just got a guitar and we got drums.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Let's get in there. Just do some vocals now, and then seeing how they react to certain things you put in the architecture of the song. It's like a really really odd. Getting older, getting wiser, and I love making records, man. I do. Some of the people that you deal with while you're making records is not easy, and not the artists. Usually the artists are always great, and it's sometimes the management and record label and people, and I love the music business, but
I know
just some of the people in it, just like
once you've been in it for a while, you're like, wow, I'm making a career in the music business, which is awesome. But man, there's a lot of fucking bullshit you got to deal with in the music business.
I tell you what, though, I love the podcast. I really do. I genuinely love doing this and talking to my friends and some people that I don't know too well,
Yeah.
But it's been with the podcast, I think that I want to be able to interview some really serious, artists before they die. Be honest with you, So, so I'm trying to get the podcast up to going so I can do that, and aliens and Bigfoot is important.
Yes,
actually, the most important thing on the planet. So you're an ancient alien theorist, do you say, or do you say you're kind of halfway?
Yeah,
I am too. That's
Fuck
right,
yeah,
baby.
man.
That's right. because it only makes sense.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And that's not displacing God or anything.
No.
That's just going. So what's your? So you haven't been watching the Skinwalker Ranch thing like I have. So.
I watched the whole first season, which I thought was incredible, and then I didn't get History Channel anymore on my, on my Apple TV, and I just haven't watched it. But dude, I like that show a lot.
This last week was groundbreaking.
Yeah,
it was. It was groundbreaking. I mean, when I say groundbreaking, they had these. Oh my God, you got to see it. They got these 4 lasers, right? And they're pointed to this pinnacle where that anomaly is in the sky that they found.
Like a certain distance up in the sky, right?
Right. So they shoot this missile at this damn thing. This thing is this big around. I'm talking it's freaking 12 foot tall type of shit. Actually, might be exaggerating. I think it was 12 foot. A missile.
Like a real missile.
Boom! They shoot that sumbitch up there, right? And the thing deflects. And goes off 2 miles.
Really?
It went boom, just like it hit something and just went to 2
What?
miles. Yep. So then they shoot another one at the sumbitch. And so as it's coming down, it's letting out powder so you can see more about what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And man, all of a sudden here comes this UAP. UFO is what it is, a UFO. And it comes out of nowhere, TJ. It comes, and it's big. It's coming right toward them. Then all of a sudden it turns around and it just all of a sudden you see it going into whatever's up there.
That mountain or that
into the portal or whatever it is. It just disappears. I mean, we're talking 3,000 feet up in the air. They got a camera on it and it just goes right in that fucking thing.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, I mean, it's weird.
Huh.
It's weird. And there's a certain frequency that it lets off, and they kept beaming that frequency too, just like letting that frequency off. It's a 1600 hertz. which 1600 hertz, I don't know.
Huh.
But anyway.
Huh. That's fucking weird.
So, I think the biggest thing. What? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, so Robert Bigelow used to own that ranch,
Right.
and then he sold it. But like, what's the consensus on what's there? Because it's not just UFO shit. It's like paranormal shit.
Right.
Like, there's all kinds of weird shit that happens there. That's like across many different spectrums.
It's all from that portal. But there's more than one. They know there's one at Homestead 2 is what they call it, Homestead 2. And they know that there's one, it's 3,000 feet up in the air.
Yeah, I know. I remember that
triangle.
from the first season, yeah.
And that to me, man, I mean.
Because, like, didn't have, like cattle mutilations there, a few of them?
I know.
Like,
they had a cow go down when it first
yeah.
you saw it.
Yeah.
And the UFO's right above it. I mean, it's there. It's there.
Why doesn't you know what I always wonder about that stuff is like, do people just not? Because I'm super interested in it. And I know you are too, because we talk about it all the time. But like, I always wonder why like more people aren't interested in it. You know, it's just they just don't want to. There's a fear of the unknown.
You know, I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm not gonna name who he is, from St. Louis, an old friend of mine, a while back, and man. He told me, he goes, I'm just Gnostic. I just don't give a fuck. I was like, wow, you just don't care?
But that's like so much more important than everything that's going on right now here.
I know. It's like,
you're talking about like interplanetary life and like time travel. And
do you think it's time travelers?
I think that. Okay. This is what I think.
Okay, here we go.
I think okay. If you and I've heard many people talk about this, and I agree with it. Is like if you took, so we're however long we've been around on Earth. I don't know the exact number, but it's hundreds of thousands of years that we've been around, right? According to evolution. But like if you had a civilization that was just 1,000 years more advanced, I mean, look at all the crazy shit that's happened like just within the last 100 years with our civilization, with the technology that if you extrapolate it out, you go 100 years out, or if you go, what if there was a civilization out there that was like 1,000,000 years more advanced than it? I mean, they would have knowledge of physics and like all kinds of shit that like we don't have even a fucking clue about. So maybe there is.
Scary.
Yeah. So maybe I believe that if that's true, which I would imagine it is, then yeah, why wouldn't there be people that are have the ability to time travel or manipulate, go through wormholes or whatever, Why not? And I don't think it blows any holes in like if you're a Christian and you believe in God. Like I don't understand the people that have a hard time with that stuff, because I just think that like I just think those two things coexist, and it's
kind of saying that. It's kind of saying that God and science aren't.
It's all the same thing.
Entwined. Man. I mean, it is. It's all right. I mean, it is. I mean, if you want to be someone that's, and I'm not, I shouldn't get into that. I don't guess.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't go.
Probably get into religion, but I will say this though. If you want to read the Bible and the history, but it's not aliens. What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's angels. Okay, well, the spirit world and the physical world come together.
Yeah.
They have to. In order for us to even exist or whatever. Was it? Go.
What do you think about that theory that like there's infinite U's?
I don't know.
Like there's this. What is that? Is that string theory or is that? But that the idea of like
Jackson,
the multiverse.
what is that called?
It's the multiverse, right?
Is it multiverse?
I don't know, but it's it's that theory that there's just like infinite numbers of yous that have made like the same version of Malcolm in another realm somewhere that's made different decisions and
I don't know.
And you've crossed paths with maybe some of the same people and like.
Do you feel like there's that?
It's kind of intriguing, Like, what if there's another version of you somewhere, or multiple versions of you in a different dimension somewhere that was you know,
doing different shit.
that just did like. What if there was a version of Malcolm that was like, I don't know, like
Real
not
sophisticated.
a music producer, but like a like. Well, I'm trying to think of something that you would do that's like totally not you, you know, like some Wall Street banker or some shit, you know.
No, I'm a hairdresser.
Yeah. But you know, like, I mean, what if
Nothing wrong with being a hairdresser, being a dude.
What if-
I'm just saying me being a hairdresser, that would be pretty.
I don't know. You know?
So, oh, Lord have mercy. But do you think that,
Sorry, I got kind of.
no. I got to ask you a question, though, because this is one I want to bring up on the, this is one I really want to talk, and you're one of the only people I can talk to about this, and you have knowledge of it, is the dang pyramids. Do you really think the Egyptians built the pyramids?
No.
I mean, look at Cairo. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, the same people who built those built. I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. No offense to Egyptian people. It's just, guys, listen, man. There's no fucking way that happened. I mean, it's just not. There's no way.
Yeah, because they say the Great Pyramid was the tomb for Khufu.
Yeah, but there's no.
But there's no body. There's no tombs there.
There's no writing in them.
There's too many things about. I mean, that's why it's.
Do you think it was a power plant? Do you think it was?
I mean, maybe.
Sure looks like it, doesn't it?
I think there's an ancient civilization or civilizations that have been lost to time through, you know, what the Younger Dryas event,
Right.
and maybe something before that, you know, where it just lost to time. Like, think about our civilization, and you had some like, you know, asteroid that hits Earth or something, or a solar flare that knocks out all the everything digital forever, you know, and you just go back to the Stone Ages. I mean, everything's lost to history, you know. So I think so many things are lost to history. Is what I think. You know, some cataclysm, and then like everything gets wiped out. And for whatever reason, I think that's one of the things that's just still standing from a time that we really don't know anything about.
Right.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think that if the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, people are questioning what happened with Christ 2,000 years ago. Billions, man, that word's a big word. It's a big word. Billions. Billions is like, how many millions is that?
A lot.
So it's like hundreds. 100 million is a billion.
No, I think it's 999.999 billions is 1 billion.
Wow. So, and we're like sitting here wondering what happened 2,000 years ago with Christ. I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, give me cheese. I mean, hey, you know, so I think that this has happened a bunch.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know about it being a ever cycle of us coming back and doing the same things again. I don't know about that. Sometimes I feel like I have done the same thing.
It's like reincarnation.
I believe in reincarnation because Jesus said it was reincarnation, but I don't, you know, and people argue with me on that one too, but whatever. It's always an argument. But I still don't think the damn Egyptians built the pyramids.
I don't think so either.
I think that was Atlantis. I think that was really,
think so?
Yeah, because especially the Sphinx was there even thousands of years before the pyramids. So they built the pyramids by there because the Sphinx was there. So they know the Sphinx was there when it was a tropical climate. How many years ago was it a tropical climate? That was before the Younger Dryas, wasn't it? Way before the Younger Dryas. So that's 20,000 years ago.
Something like that. I don't know.
I mean, the Younger Dryas, I think, was 10,000, though, wasn't
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was like roughly.
So the Ice Age.
Yeah.
So.
Because the Ice Age lasted 10,000 years, right? Roughly.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, 10.
See, I listen to all this shit and I retain most of it, but I honestly don't really know. I don't remember, you know.
No, but what I do know is that at some point, and I think it's in how we rotate around the universe, not universe, the galaxy, and how we rotate around there, and what point we are. Because I think that's the cooling and the heating part, not the Earth circling the sun. And it's funny because Jason Knoll was coming on tomorrow for the flat Earth thing. So
really,
yeah,
I tell him I said hi.
Well, he can't come. He had a family emergency, but So we're not doing them all at 11 with those guys, baby. Anyway, I hope everybody can see my shirt. This is how I feel
hate
today.
people.
Yep. Hope I don't get us not monetized.
I mean,
That's a new thing. We need some monetization. God. You know, when I hear that word, I think of Montezuma. Who was Montezuma?
I just know Montezuma's Revenge, which I think is like a ride at some theme park somewhere. And then I think it's like a diarrhea or some shit. I don't know.
Montezuma's Revenge. I mean,
I think that's like I think it's diarrhea. Montezuma's Revenge. Something like that. It's like when you go to Mexico, don't drink the water.
So,
I don't know.
So what is your real views on the ancient alien theory? So you think like Pumapuku and Sexay Wome, all that, do you think those was man-made?
I don't know.
How could they be, though? That's the question.
I mean, I think people are capable of pretty amazing shit. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't give people enough credit sometimes for what, because I mean, look at just the shit that we built, like in our own, you know, since we've been like our, you know, our own society that we live in today. I mean, there's some pretty fucking amazing. What's that thing called in France? The collider.
Hydrogen collider.
Is it a hydrogen collider?
Yeah.
That thing that spins as atoms around super fast and they create little black holes with each other. I mean, what the fuck? Like,
Well, I mean,
I don't know. You know,
that's a whole nother thing right there. I mean, that's a good question because somebody said that Donald Duck came out of one of them.
Donald Duck?
And Donald Duck whacked somebody over the head, and it all changed everything. I don't know. What did they say?
I don't know about Donald Duck, man. Come on.
Did you hear about that? He didn't hear about that. Somebody said it the other day in a session. It wasn't Donald Duck, but it was
really good.
You didn't know it?
No, I'm good, man. But Jesus. I never had these before, like 2 days ago. They're fucking delicious. Sorry. I'm cursing a lot.
That's okay.
But so, yeah, I don't know. Like, that's a good question, man. I'm open to everything, you know. I'm open to whatever. I just
don't think the hydrogen collider, though, is opening up a black hole and it's changing things, though. And Donald Duck's not coming out there.
I don't think that either. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that they built that fucking thing, I mean, that thing is the level of engineering and like understanding of shit that had to go into building that is incredible. Like, so beyond anything that I'm capable of in my own mind.
Well, so I thought the same thing when I showed up at Grand Central Station when I was like 21, 22 years old. And I looked up and I went, wow, I am a very small part of this world.
Right.
But that's a whole nother question, though, is that belongs in my simulation, you know. And everybody gets cracked up when I say, is Japan really there?
I mean, I've never been there, but I would assume so.
Is somebody...
My brother's wife's from there.
I got cousins that has a wife from Japan. Yeah. Really? So it's part of your simulation and mine, to some degree.
To some degree.
They're from that part of a simulation, but they're not. You know, I'm not going to get into an inverted matrix or anything. I love Eric Baker. I just don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Eric goes down the rabbit hole for sure.
He does, and it's interesting how intelligent that guy is and how
he's fun, dude. Yeah, Eric's cool.
He's a super intelligent sweetheart, man.
Yeah.
He really is. Because he really some of the things he does say is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I don't buy into a lot of the stuff that he thinks, but I admire his intelligence and his he's thinking outside the box. You know, I think it's good.
Well,
I think what it is about like a guy like Eric is, in my opinion, is I think he's interested in the right things.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think some people just get so caught up in like just shit that just does not matter, you know? And like, you should be contemplating your own mortality. You should be contemplating the mysteries of the universe. You should be thinking about is there life after death? You know, like, what does God mean to you? Like, these are the things that are the important questions I feel like in life. And like,
I do too.
I don't understand why so many people get caught up in like just mundane, stupid shit, you know? Like, this guy stole fucking $20 from me, or, you know, I don't know.
Well, it's because man, some of the things that are focused on.
I think that's why we're such good friends. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, but people. It's like, well, do you not have enough to do to focus on something else?
I think it's a lot of people that don't have any passion in their life. It's the same people that go to nightclubs. They don't have anything that they're passionate about.
I'm sorry to laugh, but it was just like I didn't know where nightclubs.
Well, they don't.
Dance clubs.
They're not passionate about anything in life. That's where people that don't have a true passion go. They live a surface level life with surface level people. I was down last night downtown. Sorry, I know we're not talking about aliens, but
no, you go ahead. We're talking about life.
we were down last night at 2nd Street in Nashville, and like
there's a bunch of aliens down there.
man, there's such a difference between like you went into one of these honky tonks, and you see these people up there singing and they're making a living and like they're passionate about what they're doing, but there's all these people that are in there watching them, and they're having this genuinely good experience, like listening to music and like, as you could just tell, there's a lot of good people, and then, and they're just, just out having a good time, and then you go up we went to Jason Aldean's bar, which it was an awesome bar, but we go up to the 4th floor because we wanted to look out they have the patio up there to look out, and they had a nightclub up there. And then you see all the people that are going in there and all the hoochie mamas and all the, just the douchebag guys that go in there and shit. And like, and it's just a completely different vibe, and nothing to do with the music or anything, but just that it's like, you just see the people that go in there and you're like, man, you people, like, you're not passionate about anything. Like you're just here to try. Sorry. I didn't mean to,
You're good, man. You're good.
you're just here to, you're just trying to hook up,
Yeah.
And you're probably doing a bunch of drugs, and I'd rather go hang out with those people at the honky tonk bar.
Right.
That are just chill and they're listening to some good music and
It's funny. Me and Tiffany tried to go out the other night because we've been promising ourselves, both of us, we're going to try to go out and we get dressed up and we do the same thing every time. We basically ride around town and we never go in any place.
No,
never wind up anywhere. We wound up down there at Tin Roof.
Okay.
And then as soon as we walked through the door, he said, "We're closing."
Oh shit.
I looked at her and went, "Wow, that was our experience going out tonight." We were going to see Cordell and them play, because they were playing Tin Roof. So, yeah, it was, I don't know. It just, some people just, I'd rather ride around and talk to my girl. I mean, that's stupid. At least the kids aren't interrupting us.
It's not, because you know what matters to you. You have things in your life that you're passionate about. You're not trying to fill a hole. There's a lot of people that are trying to fill a fucking hole, man.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean there. I was trying to be funny, but
I mean, we're always trying to fill a hole.
I am. That'd be Tiffany. Probably shouldn't have said that. No. Sorry about that. I don't really give a fuck.
But I don't know, man. Like, it's so much more important to me to... it's like I always make this reference, but it's like I would so much rather on a Friday night go home with somebody that I care about and watch Ancient Aliens and eat some good food and pass out, than like go get drunk at some fucking bar and like.
I just don't have time for it.
I know, man, because you have other things in your life that fill that for you.
Well, just like this afternoon, I know we're not talking about aliens, but
yeah,
I don't care. Just like. This afternoon I haven't felt real good, and I'm in there and I yell, and I'm like, "Whoever's making that noise better shut up." Here comes Colin. And Colin's my sweet boy. He really is. He comes there, he goes, "Daddy, I was just asking about blah, 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 blah. I can't understand what he's saying." I'm like, "Son, come here." And he gets upset. Well, I ain't no sense of getting upset. And I realize something. He lays down there and gives me a big old hug, and there's no place else I'd rather be.
Yeah.
Not in the whole world, man.
Yeah, man.
And I'm saying, "Well, listen, just I'm trying to write this email to Dougie. Mr. Dougie's waiting on this. I gotta get this done." And he's like, "Okay, Daddy, sorry for being so loud." And he's back in there at it, but no,
that's what matters, man. Stuff
I think
like
we don't enjoy our families enough or realize how great they are. And I got a great woman, and
Yeah, dude.
I got a
Saint T.
I got a wonderful mother-in-law. I do love her. She's my mother-in-law though. But that's the way mother-in-laws are. But no, there's a lot of times she saves my ass on some things, man. She does, and she's a great person to talk to and a great listener, But
Yeah.
sometimes, just like all mother-in-laws, you want to choke them out. But I'm sure she wants to choke me out more than I want to choke her out. But no. Anyway, I guess it's hard to stay on the alien subject.
I know. I guess we digressed really far away from that, but
That's okay.
yeah.
That's okay. Well, because we're doing pretty much unfocused podcast right now, because we're just getting warmed up. I mean, we really are.
Let's talk about some Bigfoot shit.
Let's talk about some Bigfoot shit because you're a non-believer.
Total non-believer.
So, what makes you not believe in Bigfoot?
There's so many things.
Like what? I want to know.
I
feel
feel
like
like
Bigfoot's doing here.
I totally believe in aliens. Okay, I totally believe in the paranormal. I don't know. I think I think a lot of the people that are like on TV with that shit, they're just opportunists. They're just
Crazy people
trying to make a buck. I don't think they're crazy. I think they're just trying to make money.
Really?
A lot of them.
Sorry, my headphones kind of getting.
But I don't know.
Really? Well,
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I've been watching Expedition Bigfoot.
Okay.
And there is no doubt about it. There's Bigfoot, and there's no doubt it's a species. And there's just
Where is it?
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You can pull up all kinds of stuff on the internet. You can see all kinds of videos of Bigfoot.
What does Jackson think out there?
Yeah, Jackson, let's hear you. Turn your microphone on.
We waited all that time. He goes, not really.
Not really.
Okay, what about the what is that original film? The original Bigfoot film.
Peterson film.
Okay, so I've heard both sides of that. They try, I've seen people try to simulate that him walking and all that, and like they can't simulate him walking because it's like bipedal or whatever, and
what a word.
I'm
bipedal.
Bipedal. But anyways, like they say that like a gorilla couldn't walk like that, basically, and that
Human couldn't walk like that.
Yeah, like a human couldn't walk like that. But I don't know. But then I've heard the other side of it too. It was like, no, it's just a guy in a monkey suit. And
Here's what's wrong with the what do you call them? The people, the skeptics. The skeptics always have an end thing, So they miss all the things at the beginning to get to the end.
Okay.
I mean,
like what? Like what am I missing? Because I'm a skeptic when it comes to that.
I think you're missing that there's over a freaking 100,000 freaking sightings a year. I mean,
there are a lot of sightings.
There's a lot of sightings, and half of those people aren't crazy, and half of those people aren't. Half of them are probably more than half of them are crazy people that just talking, maybe drunk, maybe on acid. I don't know. But from my experience, the vibe of it is out there is that there is something. I mean, but I've never seen Bigfoot, but now I have seen the Goatman, and that was terrifying.
What's the Goatman?
The Goatman is I was up in Kentucky and staying with Andy Paul, and me and his buddy Michael, we were up, when I was working, and I was doing stuff in his basement, Andy's basement, I had my studio set up down there, and well, we heard something outside, and I know everybody just laughs when I tell the story, but this is what really happened. We went outside, and he had this big old spotlight type of thing, and he's like out there, spotting around. And I'm out there with this, I got a freaking pretty big flashlight, but it's just a flashlight. And Andy Paul had this really, fantastic place. What they call it is a little horse, I guess, a horse or a goat pen or whatever. It wasn't a goat pen, but you know what I'm saying? Where
Something like
kept
that.
the cattle or whatever. I say goat because of the goat man. But anyway, no, I went out there and I'm looking around because we're trying to figure out what was making that noise. And I pointed toward this shed, and the shed is like probably 40 to 50 foot away from me, you know. And I got the thing, the light on it, and I see this little bitty light.
Yeah.
Little bitty. And it was like it's green. And I was like, what the hell is that? And Michael was on the other side of the freaking farm. And I'm like, hey, man, get over here, dude. Get over here. He's like, what's wrong? I said, just get over here as fast as you can. And I'm sitting there, and I'm only 30 or 40 feet from this thing, right? So I'm pretty close, you know. I'm close enough I could pick up a baseball and hit it. Put it that way. Pretty easy. You know, about that far. A pitcher mound and, you know, the plate. So I'm sitting there, I'm like looking at him, I'm like, what in the world is that, man? He goes over, what's going on? What do you see? So he takes his light and he flashes over there, and this thing, this little bitty pinpoint, it gets freaking huge. And this big old eye, and it just wham, and the how it looked when it closed its eyes and opened it up, and it was standing there the whole time looking at me. And then it squared up at us. He took off running. I took off running. And I stood there long enough to see the outline of it. And we didn't know what it was. When it's there, and we start looking on the internet, and sure enough, that we were about 2 miles from the train track, this train bridge, that the thing is always spotted at. And put it this way, we got the guns out, man, and we stayed inside, but we were ready. I mean, this thing was probably 3 or 4 foot taller than me.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't Sasquatch at all. The way its legs looked was like, it reminded me of a freaking goat. I'm just telling you, it really did. It reminded me of like his legs were backwards than ours. You know how ours is like legs went the other way.
What the fuck?
Well, there's certain theories about that thing. Is that, you know, that there's a family of freaking really deformed people out there that we can run around, and there's all kinds of theories on it. Can you pull up the goat, man? Maybe show, you know, on the show picture. But it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen like that. It was weird. But it's the only place to no.
Yeah, where were you at?
In Kentucky. It's up there around Louisville, Bardstown. Heck.
Jamie, can you put it on that screen? I called him Jamie. Jackson.
You can put it on that screen. We got Tropic Thunder up there.
I just called him Jamie like I was on Joe Rogan or some shit.
Blow it up. Blow that shit up. Blow it up.
What in the world? Oh my God.
Yep.
That is weird looking.
That's what I saw.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Now that looks.
I mean, and
that looks like a human in an outfit, and but I'm saying.
I don't know. Does it? Look at its foot.
Yeah, it is pretty wacky.
That foot's looking weird.
You got to remember to cut to that.
Look at his hand next to his foot.
I know, dude. It's what it looked like, though. But what's messed up is how small. See, I thought it was a light that was coming through the shed that I was looking at. So I thought it was a light coming in. I had no idea it was somebody standing there. This thing was standing there against that thing, staring at me the whole entire time. So whatever it is, it ain't scared of people. It ain't. You know, people just say, I thought, well, you know, that's one of our buddies from Louisville. You know what I mean?
Like messing with you or
messing with. Well, I was like, it's 3 a.m. They're not gonna sit out there, but they could have came and parked it way in the driveway. But man, I don't think so, dude. The way this thing looked, like its legs were so much smaller than the top part of its body, and the head was so huge, and it just looked absolutely crazy, you know. Weird. And it really, you know, I've seen UFO. I've seen one. Well, I've seen a couple what I thought was UFOs. I mean, I have, you know. I mean, but there was one particular incident when I was a kid that really affected me. But you know about that. I've told you about all that.
Yep.
But now, I never have seen Bigfoot, but I've always been so intrigued with Bigfoot because I think he represents who we really are. I do. I'm not kidding either. I think that I think that there's.
You're fascinated by that subject.
I am because it's so Because I think they're the indigenous species here. I think that we're the intruders. I think that they have most of the fucking, and I think there's a lot of them. And I think they live.
Huh.
I think there's mean ones. I think there's good ones. I think just like there's people, and I think they're around us a lot more than what we know. And I think that they probably, if I had to guess, Bigfoot will, just like this whole thing with Skinwalker Ranch. They're finding out. These anomalies or whatever UAPs. What's going on is really, honestly, they're about to find out what they really are, and it's going to be another part of our science that we know, and our kids will know. And I think that's the same thing with Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot is so real, it's unreal. But that's me.
So what about like the Yeti?
Well, the Yeti, they found a Yeti. They called it the Yeti.
The same thing.
Well,
different. It's like
what they said was a 10,000-year polar bear that was extinct and mixed with a grizzly, but it walked on two legs. Now that's in that one. Gosh dang it! Can you find who was the Jackson? Who was the explorer that died? It has one stuffed in his living room, and he has it stuffed in his living room.
Because the Yetis are like white, right?
Yeah,
and they live in the mountains.
Yeah, but now there's been other Yeti things come up where the footprints didn't look like this thing. Look, but now that just happened not long ago. This is in 2020. Last year, an expedition, they came upon some tracks and they took pictures and everything, and it was like ridiculously huge. I mean, ridiculous. What was his name? Okay, Matthew Henson. Does it have a picture of the Yeti?
The legacy of the Arctic explorer, Matthew Henson. Weird.
I mean, well, nobody ever questioned what it was until he died, and then they're like, "Wow."
I always love that story about those Russian hikers. That I think they were hikers, but they.
I saw that today.
And they were.
I swear to God, I saw that today.
So they're in the mountains.
Yep.
And they're in their tent. Like their tent was. Yep. Something didn't break into their tent. Something broke out of it. Man. And then they all died, and they were like, weren't they like
eyes were gouged out?
Yeah, they were like severely mutilated. And they were like in like some abandoned area, like nobody was around.
No,
and it wasn't. They said that it wasn't like an animal that got them, like it wasn't like a bear or like a wolf or something that got them. It was like totally unexplained. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I watched it today. I saw
what is that? What
I saw a thing on it today. Gosh, dang it.
It's like one of those unresolved or unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, and that's I think it's what the show is. Yeah, man, I wish I could remember everything about it because I saw it today and I was like, wow, it was.
Oh, they were all naked too.
Yeah,
and it was the middle of the winter,
and then some of them were just stacked up in a pile, middle of winter, and then. Now they won't let anybody in there. Period. But see, there's several theories on it. Some people say it was the KGB, and that they ran upon something or saw something they shouldn't have, so they just had to kill all of them. But why would they gouge their eyes out, cut their tongues out?
Yeah, it was like some weird ass shit.
Weird, man.
And it was in a location where there just shouldn't be.
But the big clue to me is that there was radiation involved.
Yeah, there was radiation involved.
And that's what I'm going.
Yeah.
So maybe Godzilla really exists. Godzilla's like, I gotta get the eye, man. Go get the tongue, man. You know what? It's terrible. We shouldn't make fun of people there like that because, I mean, that's terrible for those families and the family. Maybe somebody related, so they're listening. But I just know that man, the pictures of that shit, though, was like what the fuck? It was, man. Like, wow. Like, what could do that to somebody?
I know.
But they call that the Russian Triangle. Yeah.
Like the Bermuda Triangle.
Like the Bermuda Triangle, yeah. People disappearing there all the time and stuff. But now they won't let anybody in there, period. Like, ever since that happened in years, it's like they won't let anybody in there. Because the damn Yeti, has the Betty.
The Yeti has the Betty.
I don't know. They have the Yeti. The Yeti are in control now, man. So they,
That's too funny, man.
I mean, look. So do you think that Bigfoot just is people's imagination?
I don't know. I'm open. I'm not I don't discourage it at all. I love it. I just don't know. I don't know.
It's just so funny. We had you on the podcast on the thing. Did you see that? That was like, funny.
I was pretty skeptical.
Awesome to have you here, though, because it's like, man, no, I don't believe in Bigfoot. It's bullshit. Well, look, here's what I say: don't be a couch guy and say, get out there.
Where's there should be, if there are Bigfoot, big feet,
big feet,
Bigfoots, then there should be bones, there should be skulls, there should be, lots of
there is.
But I mean, everything I've ever watched, like any of those shows, it's always like some guy's got something locked in a freezer, and then there's some big event, and then they, he makes it look like it's real, and then they find out it's just it's a gorilla suit, and they froze it and made it look like a Bigfoot, and it wasn't really. I mean, I know that they have the footprint evidence is interesting for sure,
right?
But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just how do you? I mean, if they were in the mountains somewhere, how you living out there, and I mean, do they know how to make a fire? Are they intelligent, as intelligent as we are, or are they?
I think they're as intelligent as us, but they have the senses of smell of animal.
Are they more primitive? So
they're more primitive, yeah.
So do they have the ability to use tools and stuff? Are they?
I think so.
Are they smarter than an ape, or a monkey, or where's their intelligence level on the spectrum?
I know that they're super intelligent because they wouldn't I think they believe they live in our cave systems, and I think there's a lot of cave systems we don't know about.
Maybe.
Well,
no, we're good.
Sorry,
I'll mute that.
Does your old lady know that you're here doing a podcast?
Oh yeah, she's at an event right now, so I'll let her do her event.
Do her thing.
And we're having our event.
That's right. Yeah, because Bigfoot's an important subject.
I don't think people think about that though. That's actually a really interesting thing to think about. Is well, how if they are real, then what's their culture like?
I think they live in families, or just like deer or anything else. They live in they live in herds.
Okay.
They don't really live in cities. They don't have cities built underneath Nashville. I don't know. You never know. Maybe so. But
maybe.
I doubt that. But I do think though that I'm not going to get on this thing because I don't know what to think about Hollow Earth theory. I don't know what to think about. I don't think that it's a Hollow Earth. I think there's big places underneath that are open.
Yeah.
And I think they could possibly be generated from the middle of the earth. There's always, if man can think about it, it usually can happen. You know what I'm saying? Unless it has to do with women or 3 or 4 women at a time. And a lot of times that won't happen. Other than that, though, I think if you can think it up, you know what I'm saying? Man. God, we could go off nuclear right now. But
I probably should just steer clear of that subject.
We'll stick to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's just anyway, we'll move on. It's but I mean,
fuck.
So we went from aliens to Bigfoot to figure out how people are, but because I think me and you just had bad human experiences lately. Not us as humans, but humans having to deal with humans.
People are ridiculous, man.
People are ridiculous, and it's something. And people wonder why I won't think about Bigfoot. Are you kidding me? Or Bigfoot and aliens? It's you have to deal with.
I'd rather deal with that than deal with fucking human beings sometimes.
Oh
man.
my God. No.
People wear me out, man.
It's not just that. It's just the whole. They think of themselves, and that's what they think of, and pretty much, and there's no. hardly ever do I go, and I have a bad habit of talking about my bullshit sometimes, but it's like, man, I try my best to be concerned about people's feelings, though. I really do. Like,
Of course you do.
like when you came in today,
You're
but I love hearing you go off about shit.
but you're a good person,
Oh, well, thank you, man. I don't know about that, but I do know I'm trying.
Yeah.
And that's what matters, I think, though. But there's some people out there that's not even trying. They're not even trying.
Dude, people, I don't know, man. It's like they have trauma from things in their life, and they never resolve their trauma,
Right.
and they just barf it all over everybody else.
Yep.
And it's like, you motherfucker. Like, you need to keep that shit away from me, because I want to fucking live over here in my own world where I don't have very many people in my life, and I keep myself in this little fucking I don't know, man. God, dude, people just wear me out, dude.
I know. And I need just
It's just because you can see it, it's just like it's so unnecessary sometimes. I think that's the part that bothered me about all, like, when you see people acting out or doing shit, it's like, man, it's just unnecessary. You don't have to fucking do that. Just maybe look at yourself in the mirror every once in a while. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it's you.
no. It's never them. It's always That's the thing. That one way. What I have learned though from Bigfoot
Yes.
is that if there's a problem, more likely in the situation it's me, because I got involved with that person. How many people have you told me do not get involved with that person? And then I'm, oh man,
Usually right.
This motherfucker. You're like,
It seems like every like anything involving UFOs, like Roswell's always like the first thing that they talk about,
I know it's the pinnacle when everybody started noticing. I think, but Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where I'm from, which really neat story. I've lived on Huffman, I guess you'd say Huffman Road. We gave it a number, but we go out straight out on Huffman, and then the guy that the pastor that gave the last rites to the aliens that were killed and buried was Pastor Huffman.
No shit.
Yeah, pretty interesting, huh?
No shit.
Isn't that weird? And that was. Can you look up and see, Jackson, what year the Cape Girardeau UFO crash happened? But yesterday was the 75th anniversary of Roswell.
Was it really?
75 years. Okay, let's look at our technology from...
See, everything's derived from there.
Yep. Seems like that's when it all started. Did humans, 1941.
Wow.
So that was how many years before Roswell?
Wasn't Roswell like 47?
48. What year was Roswell? That was
It's like, I think it was 47.
Jackson?
He's looking it up. Yeah, 47.
1947. Wow.
I've
But
watched
think of where technology has come from since then. I mean,
Yeah.
we stayed on the freaking. We stayed on. What was it? We had swords and bows and arrows for how many years? For hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years. And then all of a sudden, you just jump.
Boom! All of a sudden, we got cell phones walking around.
It's crazy. I know. I don't think we're capable of I think it all moved too fast for our brains to process.
Well, it makes you wonder, though.
Because I don't think this younger generation of kids, I think they're kind of fucked.
You step up to the microphone a little
Oh,
more.
I'm sorry.
Why you say that?
I just think everything is just... they're so different.
They are very different.
From you and I. Because we were really like the last generation to grow up where you didn't have like cell phones in high school and stuff,
Yeah, we didn't have any of that.
Like when I graduated from high school in 94, Like I remember like that summer, somebody introduced me to the internet for the very first time.
Really?
And you think about that compared to, and we didn't have cell phones. I remember my dad, he used to have a Corvette and he had a cell phone in his Corvette. You know, it was like the cool shit. He had like, it had like the cord on it and everything. It was like a real phone. Yeah.
But did it work?
It worked. It was a fucking phone and it was in his Corvette. It was the coolest shit ever when I was a kid.
I always wondered, like, how much did it work? I mean,
It worked.
Really?
Yeah, I could just call my dad. Yeah.
Really?
It worked. But it's just so funny to think about, man. Like, wow, like how did that shit go from that to what it is now, you know? Like, what the fuck? But anyways, back to Roswell.
Well, Roswell was the pinnacle, I think. I mean, don't you think? I mean, I think that's when everybody went, okay, because they announced it. They announced that there was a UFO that crashed.
Yeah.
And that they had recovered bodies and everything, and then they had to take it back. Oh, no. It was nope.
The guy that wrote that book, Stanton Friedman, that wrote the book about Roswell, because Roswell happened, and then there was like, you know, they got the article that was written, and then they retracted it and all that shit. But it really wasn't, like, after that had happened, it really wasn't talked about until Stanton Friedman wrote that book. I think it was called The Day After Roswell.
Yeah.
And that was in it was either in the 80s or the 90s. He wrote that book, and then that's when everybody was like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. And then he went and interviewed all those people, and I think Jesse Marcel was still alive at that time. And
Jesse Marcel's an interesting man.
Yeah, and he never changed his story. And
very interesting fella. Like, was he really like that far up in the military? I mean, he was, wasn't he? He was
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He was.
They try to cover up who the fuck he was. Is what the problem is. They try to cover the tracks, trying to make it where he wasn't as much of a big deal as they thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But he turned out to being a really big deal because he was a colonel.
Yeah.
So colonels.
Was he a colonel? Yeah, Colonel Jesse Marcel. Yeah, no, he was.
If you're a colonel, that's pretty up there, man.
What's like the ranking in I don't know the military rankings very well.
Or colonel, then a general, then an admiral. So then below that would be a sergeant. You know what I mean? A
petty officer. Captain below that.
I guess a captain would be before. Yeah, that's a good question.
It's like
captain's pretty far up there.
You have like private. What does it go for? Private, first officer, captain,
first class, second class, third class, then sergeant, then captain. I think. Then it goes to colonel. Like a colonel is like a big deal. Being a colonel is a big deal. I know that.
You go to a general after a colonel?
Yep, then an admiral.
And then admiral's like the highest you get?
Yep. Being an admiral would be pretty freaking badass though. But man, how many years would you have to stay into that, and who all really gets that? And I wonder if it's a level of education or a level of battle. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they do any of that.
I mean, being a leader, period, is just a tough job.
Yeah.
No matter what you're leading.
Yeah.
Even if you're leading a bunch of drug addicts, making a record.
That's kind of how you do it, though.
Jeez. Yeah, it's like, you know.
You're the captain, dude. Everybody's fucking following you.
Someone told me I was a great leader of drug addicts. I'm like, well, thank you. Appreciate that. It's like, you can really lead drug addicts because you know how they act and you know how to handle them. I won't handle it no more, though. I don't put up with that bullshit no more.
Yeah.
No. But back to Roswell. So the other guy, the guy that worked out there at
the ranch.
What was it called? No. S4, S5.
Oh, you're talking about Lazar, Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
I love that story.
Have you seen the stuff on him though?
Yeah.
Bob Lazar, interesting fella. But they did way too much cover up on him too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it made it look obvious. You know, it's like he didn't go to school here. He didn't go to school there. Here he has diplomas for these places.
Yeah.
And he obviously worked for. Excuse me. He obviously worked for him.
His story is fascinating. Sorry, keep going.
No, but it is. Do you know how it all happened though? He was he built a rocket car.
Yeah.
He said it was loud as hell too. He said so much was loud as fuck. a rocket car, and that's how he got approached because of that and being in the paper.
Yeah.
That's we want to come out there and I'm going to tell you, I don't want to get off subject, but I guess Skinwalker Ranch, you ought to see these freaking missiles that they're shooting up in there.
I want to see that now.
It's like, wow. And oh, you know what? Let's talk about Travis Taylor. That's who I want to talk about. He came out. He's been living a double life this whole time. So we were talking about Skinwalker Ranch earlier. This guy, the military hadn't left there. He's the head of the whole thing. He's the head of the whole thing. He's the head of the UAP task force.
He's in the military.
He works for the military. Has since he was like about high school. 7 degrees, doctor's degrees. This guy's obviously the smartest guy on earth. And if he's not the smartest guy on earth, he's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would really like to have Travis Taylor on the show one day. I hope I can afford that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because I just want to sit and talk to him and just ask him some of the questions, because there's some things he said that he could not talk about Skinwalker Ranch, or the classified things he does know. But he knows that, speaking of Roswell, that Roswell was real. He hasn't said that in an interview to that degree, but pretty much. So all those alien aircraft that we have that were reverse engineering, we haven't reverse engineered too much, but we think about it, the Stealth Fighter came out.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's crazy.
Stealth Fighter, and people don't realize, I don't think they realize how much technology that we have come, how far we've become.
Yeah,
we came fucking so far since Roswell. I mean, honestly, almost to the point where you have to look at it and go, wow, is this real? I mean, I do think, though, that, my whole entire, theory on the simulation, and it is part of my simulation, because I think it's where my people come from, because I cannot be a part of this species completely. I mean, I told Tiffany today, I said something hateful to her, and I was really sorry, but I told her, I said, you know what? I feel like I'm getting more fucking human every day, and that's a bad thing.
Don't get any more human, man.
Hell no.
Stay on your alien side.
No, because there's no way my people would do like you people do. But no, this whole Travis Taylor thing, him coming out and saying, I have been living a double life, and I have.
So was this recent?
Just happened last week.
So how did he do it? Was he like on the Skinwalker Ranch show?
He's on the Skinwalker Ranch show. He's the head guy on there, head
and
scientist.
He came out on the show and said that.
No, what happened was because
I didn't hear about
a guy
this.
from that interviewed him. If you could look that up, who called him out on it? It's pretty interesting. Just flat out called him out on it in an interview. He goes, "Okay, you got me. I asked him if I was allowed to say it. Okay, I am the chief scientist of the UAP, and extraterrestrial freaking science. That's the task force they have. The people, the millions of dollars that they put into this thing, and it's very little. I mean, to be honest with you, it's very little to be trying to figure out who the hell's in our airspace. Who the hell are those things? What are those things? They are something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just tell me what they are. Okay, well, they're a lot, but my ass fine. But I just want to know what they are, because it's like too many people have been. Do you believe in the getting abducted and all that stuff? Do you believe all that stuff?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think it's too much of a stretch to believe that. Why would, if you were an alien species and you were wanting to study us, which is, I think, what they're doing,
right?
Why wouldn't you want to, do like an actual case study and bring some of them on board and see how much you can, manipulate them and like implant shit in their head and like, yeah, dude, I totally believe that,
So have you ever seen?
Because we would do something like that. We do that shit to people.
We do that shit to people.
Look at our own fucking CIA and shit, like the shit that they do to people. You're telling me that some other civilization out there that's like more advanced than us isn't like,
Do you think that they're here? Do you think they live here? That's, I guess, the biggest question.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it seems like if they were water, living under the ocean somewhere would probably be the best. But I don't know, man. Maybe they don't really need to. If they've got wormhole technology, and that shit. If they've got some wormhole technology, why wouldn't they just be able to in a second, go from wherever they're from to where we are? And then maybe there's some that are less advanced, but they're still pretty fucking advanced for us. And they're machine operated or AI or some shit like that from their civilization. And they're just, they're checking in on us. I think there's multiple.
Me too.
Me too.
I
mean, what about all those paintings like from way back in the day, like thousands of years ago, those paintings, and they've got, they've got UFOs in the paintings and shit.
I know.
That's crazy, dude. Like artists from back in the day, like straight, like, and there's some of those pictures of Christ, and
right.
And there's straight up UFOs in there, dude, in some of those paintings.
You have to ask yourself: is Jacob's ladder? Is that a UFO thing? Is it? Well, Ezekiel. Ask you something. Was it half the book of Ezekiel is?
That's a very interesting book.
Is measurements. So if half the book of Ezekiel is measurements, what are we doing here? God don't have to have a landing pad,
Yeah.
Not the God that I'm thinking of, but but it's very interesting to think that what happened in Roswell? Did they shoot it down? Did it just? Oh man, dude was drinking a beer, man. Dude was drinking a beer. We had a crash, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Dude, that's what you get for smoking that stupid pot, man. It's like stupid friggin'. It's just stupid. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like if you have a crash, we had a major malfunction. Well, what happened? It's like, we have that much technology. It's like you have to laugh though. You go, yeah, man, dude, we were smoking some pot, man.
Have you seen some of those videos from like back in the day where it's like the alien interview, and it's like, I'll see if I can find that shit. But it's like it looks hella real,
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Can you find that, Jackson?
Alien interview. Yeah, dude. It's like it's some real shit. You're like, what the?
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, I remember, like, back in the day, it was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, yeah, man. Like, you'd see some of that shit, and you're like, I thought it was real at the time. But maybe it's not real now, I don't know. Maybe it's, like, just some staged shit, and they did a really good job on it, But, man.
That's the thing about Bigfoot's, like, there's a bunch of fake shit out there, but there's some real shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to type in Area 51. But it's like some black and white footage. And it's this alien. And they're talking to it. And, no. Oh. I'm not sure.
Is it
but it's like moving and shit, and it's moving like way different than a human being would move. And it's communicating like telepathically with with somebody. They're having this conversation, but it's all like, there's no sound, but you can just see him like moving, and then like he starts like choking because he's he can't breathe the air. Or it can't breathe the air or something. I don't know. It's really fucking weird. It looks real as fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, dude. I gotta find that shit. Oh yeah, here it is, right here. Area 51, the alien interview. Oh, is that what you were just looking up, Jackson? The alien interview? Yeah, that's it. But dude, look at this motherfucker, dude. He looks hella real.
Let me see his shit.
Here, I'll see if we can. Yeah, no, this isn't it. Recreation. I want to see the real shit, dog. Come on.
I think I've seen that thing before. I mean, it's really odd though, looking in it.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, they got him all in a freaking thing.
Yeah,
he ends up getting out.
Here we go. That's what he looks like right there.
What?
But dude, like, to the lengths that you would have to go, I don't know. I mean, I know people do that shit.
You'd have to go through a lot of trouble to do that.
Yeah. I mean, people do that shit though, you know. But there's a couple of them. You seen that other one where the UFOs like crash lands in Russia, and it's
dang, that's crazy. What now? UFO crash lands in Russia.
That crash landing UFO in Russia, and it's like military footage, and it's like documentary style. So it's old school, and you can see. I mean, it must have been from like the 70s or the 60s or some shit. But it's like they've got the camera and it's set up on the tripod. It's the old school camera with the tape. And there's this UFO and it's straight just fucking in the ground, like sideways. Like
I have seen that. Is that
and all the military people around, like
Right.
they're filming it and they're looking at it. It looks real as fuck.
Well, like Mexico. I think there's been more crashes in Mexico too. But
Yeah, dude, they always have weird shit. I think that's how you can tell that it's a real thing. Is the other countries, like not our country,
Right.
not our government. Which I don't know if you can say it on the podcast, but fuck our government.
They're lovely people.
But you know, like you look at like Chile, they have all kinds of fucking crazy UFO sightings in Chile, and other countries, you know, and their governments are open. You know, they talk about it all the time.
But Russia, do you think? See, everybody says that's what happened with Germany. I mean,
Yeah,
Hitler
dude.
and those guys picked up on some stuff.
Like the flying, was it the flying wing?
Yeah, they had all kinds of things that was just really odd.
Yeah, dude. I love that subject.
What-
I fucking love that subject.
what-
Nazi UFOs, dude.
Nazi UFOs are.
And they think there's like an alien base in Antarctica and shit. I love that shit.
Man, Antarctica. That's a subject that's a way. I mean,
You know that there's parts of Antarctica that are like claimed by all these countries
yeah.
that are like part of these other countries that are like thousands of miles away.
But the problem is though, is Antarctica really there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've never been there. Metallica's performed there.
my God, Colucci. Man, I saw this thing on Sweden today.
Sweden.
Not Switzerland. Switzerland really is a neutral country, supposed to be, right? But that's where the Hadron Collider is, right? I tell you what, man, we had a really good 4th of July, didn't we?
Dude, it was awesome, man.
We had a good 4th of July. What's funny is I have a huge family, don't I?
Yeah, it was the first. Well, I've known you for over 10 years, and it was the first time that I was around all your kids at the same time.
Really?
It was the first time I met Isaac.
Boy, ain't he a good boy.
Yeah, last time that I talked to you, well, not the last time I talked to you, but like the last time that I was here a couple of years ago when I was living here. Yeah, you guys weren't really talking that much,
We just got close the past couple of years, man.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome because oh my God, we've had so much fun, But he comes and sees me all the time, and
He's very different than you in a good way.
yeah,
Like he's
calm.
He's very calm. Yeah.
He's very calm. He thinks Dad's crazy about like the podcast. I think he thinks that Dad's just having fun, and
Sure.
and I am having fun. I am.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
That sounds like dogs.
boo,
Is that Sib?
boo.
Sound like Sib.
What's going on out there? Maybe our
Here's
alien
Bigfoot.
friend- Maybe Bigfoot's coming out of the graveyard up here. Well, look, I tell you what, we've had a good podcast.
We've had a great podcast.
We have. We're tired. We're both getting worn out.
Are we? Okay.
I'm pretty tired. Aren't you?
Is it starting to go downhill?
No, I don't think there's anything good downhill when it comes to me and you.
I don't think you and I have ever like sat in the same room and just talked for this period of time.
Yeah, we have.
Like this?
Well, maybe not like this.
You're usually like in the middle of mixing or, taking a break, taking a cig break or
God.